Welcome to Approach the Bar with Dance Beat. And today I have Mr. Colin James with me. Last night I feel that both of us were honoured to watch an unbelievable pro-Latin final. And what I'm going to do now is just find out what Colin thought about the actual result. And, you know, maybe we'll agree, maybe we won't. But let's see what happens. So, let's start with 6th place last night. We had Artur and Anastasia. So, what was your feeling on their placement?
I've been watching that couple for quite a while, both as amateurs and professionals, and I think they're really developing nicely. I did feel sometimes a little bit yesterday that there was a little bit lax in technical areas, which gave them a benefit in maybe the more move or flexible dances, but maybe rumba and cha-cha didn't work for them as strongly. But I love the girl, I love her dancing, and I think that they are developing as a couple very nicely at this moment.
Yeah, as I say, I had them a little bit higher than what they finished. In the past, I felt that Artur's danced by himself a little bit too much. I was happy last night that he was much more with Anastasia, I felt. And I totally agree with you. Sometimes he is so flexible that maybe it stretches technique just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we can always talk about technique, and at this level, you know, we don't ignore it, and it's not simply as like in a junior 1 or junior 2 where we're talking about a straight leg or a bent leg. We can be, but he was crossing the line a little bit for me on that. I absolutely go along with you with a partnership. This is exactly what I mean with the development. I think they're developing as a couple, and they are using each other much more. They started off perhaps a little bit more individual, which is fine. We want individuality. However, I think from time to time we also have to be aware of the partnership, because at this level it's like 3 people in a couple, and I know that doesn't make sense because a couple is always 2. But there's the male part, there's the female part, equally as important, and there's the couple.
Of course.
Yeah.
Great. So into 5th place last night, we had Pasha and Daniela.
Yes.
Of course, they're just back from the United Kingdom, where they had a...
Sunny Bournemouth, you mean?
Oh, sunny Bournemouth. Oh, yeah. Yes, I was there in August. It wasn't sunny Bournemouth. They won the Pro Rising Star Latin, which was a tremendous achievement, as it was their first professional comp. So what do you feel about them last night?
Well, this couple, they always put in their time. I see them in the studio, they're practicing hard, they do take their lessons, they put the time in. So I really appreciate what this couple tried to do. You can always try to say that you don't like choreography or you don't like this, but you know, that's a choice. Mm-hmm. And what I like about this couple is they're dedicated to what they do, and they put the time in. Like everything, there's a time and a place, yeah. And what a rise to fame, you know, coming straight from an amateur, going into a professional final, winning a rising star. This is a dream come true. And this sometimes happens, you know. The couples can get a little bit stagnant because they're in the same place, and they still try hard. But however, they need that little bit of adrenaline rush. And they shared with me after the event in New York. They said they kept that to themselves. They didn't even tell their parents.
Yeah.
So they were totally focused on what they were going to do, and it paid off. And I say congratulations, well done. And this evening, when you saw that they came into this final, one result can change everything. They can go from doing the same thing one day to having the confidence the next. And that's the whole thing about our dancing. Everyone wants to have that confidence and that one breakthrough or that one win. But we never know quite when it's going to be. So we've got to be ready always. So that all you potential semi-finalists out there, you should know that you're as good as those finalists. You just need that moment at the right time in the right place.
Yeah, well, I felt last night that I think I had them more or less in that position, maybe a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. I've seen a difference, and I said this to him a couple of weeks ago, in the way that they're dancing in pro as compared with amateurs, because I did think they had become a little bit stagnant in amateur. So I was really happy that they were in there last night, and great result.
Yeah, it was a great result. And
if
I speak for myself, I similarly found them in that position. In the semi-final, I didn't think they had such a great semi-final. I was not so impressed with that. However, when the final came, they impressed me more. So keep at it, guys. It's hard to keep going all the time, but you've got to grab this chance while it's there.
Yeah, cool. Into fourth place last night, we had our first Canadian couple, Elia and Polina.
Ah, yes.
What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, I first saw this couple about actually a year ago in this competition. And they were kind of new for me, not new to themselves, but they've been within Canada and within the United States. And what impressed me a lot by that was the fact that they're very visual. You're always aware that they have a theme or an attention on a point to bring onto the floor, and I think they put that across very strongly. It's very difficult to compare from one year to the next, but seeing this couple throughout the year, I feel that they do this each time. They add another layer to their performance, to their dancing.
I totally agree with you. I was not aware of this couple at all until basically last year.
Yes.
They have done their homework. They have been traveling, competing a lot. I feel that they're very hard to dislike.
Yeah.
It's just, there's what is there with
to
some
dislike?
Yeah, what is it to dislike? With some couples, you can find stuff. With them, they're really athletic. Everything's just good. So once again, I felt that was probably where they should have finished last night. Yeah, it was a good result.
And I also feel they tick all the boxes. I would like them to stand out a little bit more in one of the boxes, but I think this is, as you say, they do competition after competition. They get that under their belt, and they feel more confident. And who knows what we're the best at? But so, over time, we bring something out which we call our personality, our character, and I think this is what they will do, or I hope that they will do in the months and years to come.
Yeah, let's hope so. Into third place last night, coming all the way from California, we had Makayla and Anastasia. Any feelings on that result?
Again, once I saw this couple developing in this competition last year, and I had heard some hype of their results before. First time I think I got to judge them, that I was aware of judging them this last year. I see that they keep my attention. They constantly are aware of their product that they put out to the audience or to each other, and I feel that they are always on a mission when they come into an event. The downside of that a little bit is I feel that from Makayla, the depth of his movements are not as deep as they could be. It's a little bit surface, and I feel sometimes the actions to music are a little bit on the line, so to speak, meaning that to divide those beats between action and between a step and how long we stay on a step, it kind of drifts a little bit through that sometimes for me.
Yeah, I actually loved this couple. Ever since I first saw them, they excite me.
Yes.
Okay.
I got that. I've got that part.
And you know, I can see what you're saying about him. I just feel that he can go from nothing to speed to even faster and then back to nothing again. I had him first last night.
Okay.
Overall, you know, but I can see what you're saying.
And I see that aspect of him, and I see that aspect, and I think if you is not wrong if you start from that side and you analyze it from that and put that in contrast with all the others. Yeah, he's the best at that, perhaps. If you start musically or rhythmically, I'd maybe say from my side, I find that that's a little bit more challenging and not as deep. And unfortunately, I had him more towards the end of that final. So that will be the differences, guys, when you're looking at the judges.
And of course, you're totally wrong.
Well, apart from when Tottenham won today, 4-0.
Oh, don't get into that at the moment. Into second place last night, we had another Canadian couple, Camille and Anna. Far away.
All right. I followed this young man for many years as an amateur when he was living in Toronto, and have always been able to see qualities and realise that he has strived for that. With his new partner, I also feel that they've come from strength to strength. It started out a little bit timid, but maybe that was that they were coming from a little bit different sides and had to gel more together. Right now, I think they have gelled together. I think technically they're very strong. I think characteristically they're very strong, and not musicality, but rhythmically they're very strong as well. So I particularly like this couple.
Okay.
In this final, yes.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I was not so kind to them to them last night. I feel that their dancing. Once again, it's very hard to dislike anything what they do. But it's not quite what some of the other couples are now doing. Now, you could say, well, is dancing going in a good way or is it going in a bad way? I just feel it's a little bit quiet. And while it is a really good partnership, but I would like to see one of them a little bit more, and preferably Anna.
Well, he's not personality personified or herself. They do their work, and I can see that argument that you speak with Makayla and
Anastasia.
Anastasia, sorry, I was going to say Anastasia. Yes, but this is the two sides. You need both, and yes, I want that excitement, but I can't always get past not having some discipline as well in that. Yeah. And therefore, I think this is the mixture. This is a mixture. I would like to say, and I'm sorry we're talking about now Camille, but I thought that Anastasia, over this last year, has improved so much. She really has got her dancing more and more together. And I would be, I'll put a negative side, perhaps on some of the points, but on this point, I think she developed very well.
Okay. And into first place last night, and I believe back in New York, we had Andre and Astra. Far away, Colin.
There you go. They also tick all the boxes. They have grown up with a good education. You can see that they understand what they're trying to do. As a partnership, I would like Astra to stand out a little bit more. But I feel that Andre is using this partnership much stronger than he has done in the past. With Andre, he's very temperamental, and this is good and bad. And what I mean by that, when the sun is shining and there's no clouds in the skies, and he feels the music and he feels the evening, he goes with it. Yeah, and yes, he's always been a little bit like that. However, I feel he's getting stronger mentally with that, and therefore he's able to put on the floor more consistently each round. Whereas in the past, perhaps one round was good, one round was not, and then this didn't work and that didn't work, and then the whole house fell down.
Yeah.
Right now, they're much stronger, and I'm very pleased to see that.
Yeah. I haven't seen this couple dance for maybe a couple of years, and I remember from the past that they really excited me. Once again, I thought tonight that they danced extremely well. They definitely deserved that position. Just didn't have the same excitement for me as it did a couple of years ago. But he is so good that I'm sure once he gets into his groove again, that will come through for me.
Well, I see that side of it, and then partnerships come and go, and some stay forever. And in this case, they're starting to find out that this partnership is the one that should be forever, even though it's had some bumpy rides. And I think that's a a positive for them that they can get together and resume what they were doing, and maybe a message to people out there as well. When the time gets a little bit bumpy, that's the time to buckle up and really get down to it.
That is totally right. So, Colin, the atmosphere in here was absolutely unbelievable. But do you think it compares to the atmosphere that you and I had on a North Sea ferry?
Where are we going here?
When we had to dance.
Ah, now I know where you're going.
Yeah. On the way from England to Holland.
Yeah.
Like, did you think that anything could have topped that?
Well, I thought not, but maybe the drinkers were a little bit heavier on the ship than they were here last night. No, I have to say, the couples make the atmosphere. They bring the dancing to the floor. They get a response. When they get a response, they give back again. You have to hand it to Eugene and Maria. The setting is perfect. The hall is right. The atmosphere is right. They were competitors. They are competitors, and they put a competition out there for competitors by competitors.
I totally agree, and I thought the music was fantastic as well. That always helps.
That was really, really good, and that's something that will always lift the dancers, and something that they have to use more and more, not just on the surface but also in depth.
Yeah. So, Colin, it's great seeing you.
Great seeing you too, Chris.
Okay. Hopefully Liverpool will edge up towards Tottenham tomorrow when they beat Leicester.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. And remember, you'll never walk alone.
Yeah, to dare is to kill.
This is all gibberish to our American friends. Cheers.
Cheers.